This is it, ladies and gentlemen, the moment we've all been waiting for. This is week one, coming to you live from here in Corpus Christi, West Oso. Football is back, and we have a good one here for you. We have the West Oso Running Bears hosting the George West Longhorns. Both these teams, a year ago, were playoff teams. The home team, West Oso, finished 4-7 a year ago, finished from 4th place in their district, 16-4A Division 2. Excuse me, last year they were 15-4A Division 2. They lost in the first round to a very tough Raymondville team. And they're coming in with a new first-year head coach in Brad Smithy. His first head coaching gig coming off a stint at George West. At Victoria West. But that brings me to our next point. The George West Longhorns coming in after a 12-1 season a year ago, undefeated district champions, went all the way to the 3rd round. And they have a lot of players back, a lot of good, solid players, a couple of first-teamers. They're going to be on display here tonight. And I just want to welcome everybody watching. We have 6 games in the area in the Coastal Bend here tonight, coming to you live. And we had 2 volleyball games as well, so a lot of sports happening here in the Coastal Bend area as Real Sports Live is officially expanding its horizons and its reach and our coverage towards the Coastal Bend area. But this is the moment we've all been waiting for. We've had scrimmages of both volleyball and both football. But this is week 1 football. The game counts. And we're back on the gridiron, ladies and gentlemen. So as they're doing the national anthem on the field, we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to come back for the kickoff and the start of the game. This is Mark Molina with Real Sports Live. We'll be back.
TVNS specializes in provider services, respite care, and emergency response services. TVNS are pioneers in the home care industry, in service for over 37 years. 11 locations from Brownsville to Corpus Christi, from Harlingen to Laredo.
Today's game is sponsored by TVNS, the pioneers in serving our community with the highest quality in provider services.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Real Sports Live's coverage of high school football here at West Oso High School's Bear Stadium. I'm Mark Molina. I'm bringing you the call on the action here between the hosting West Oso Bears and the visiting George West Longhorns. West Oso last season, as I mentioned before, went into the playoffs, fell in the by-district round to Raymondville 51-32, but looking to rebound and reached the playoffs once again under first-year head coach Brad Smithy. So they will begin with a very, very tough challenge here. The George West Longhorns, as we mentioned. 12-1, the 16-3A Division I champions last year. They lost to Hallettsville 28-21 in the 3rd round of the playoffs in the regional semifinals. They fell 28-21. That was a very high-scoring George West team last year, and they've got some kids back in the form of senior quarterback, defensive back Devin Jackson, running back or fullback and linebacker John Zuniga, who was the running back of the year for the district last year with 566 yards, 5 touchdowns. And also we have a running back, defensive back Michael Upton. He rushed for 440 yards and 8 touchdowns. He was also a first-teamer. And also Derek Freeman on the outside at wide receiver. Another first-team selection. They're led by head coach, coach of the year, Brent Cornegie. Are these really, really tough George West Longhorns. So a good test for West Oso coming out here to begin the season. But we have games in the area and right across the way here as Corpus Christi Miller takes on TM today. Corpus Christi Miller takes on TM. Three Rivers taking on Falls City. Divine taking on Refugio. Odom taking on Ingleside. And Taft taking on Woodsboro. We have crews at all those games tonight. So 6 games for Real Sports Live tonight, plus 2 volleyball games that we had. Eight games in total, bringing you sports here in the Coastal Bend area. So make sure to catch us there on anywhere you guys do social media. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We also are on the Roku Network and Apple TV, but those will be down for the next couple of days, but we'll bring those back and revamp for you this next week. But we're about to go to the action here momentarily. So again, just want to welcome everybody who's just joining us. I'm Mark Molina with Real Sports Live here at West Oso High School as the West Oso Running Bears are going to play host to the George West Longhorns. And George West going to kick the ball away, and West Oso going to receive. So we'll get a look at the West Oso Bears offense first, who we saw them in scrimmage action against Bay City last week. Had some issues there against that Bay City team. Struggled to move the ball, but did have some bright spots. They're going to see if they can move the ball a little bit better this week. But they did look good in flashes, and we're going to get to see them right away off the bat. Looks like back is Ernest Lodela and Ryan Garcia to take the kickoff as number 10, Riley Huey, kicking off. George West in the white and blues, and West Oso in the red uniform with black number. It's fielded at the 20-yard line. And that's taken by number 30, Terrell Moselle. As he brings it back to the 40-yard line. That's going to be first down for West Oso.
First and 10 for the Longhorns. Ball is spotted at the 26-yard line.
Actually, it's going to be to the 26-yard line was the return. So that's where West Oso will begin its first drive of the season. And there's a quick pass out to the flat, incomplete. That's quarterback Anthony Pena with the incomplete pass. Looks like he was trying to get it to Rodella there. Bringing up second down for the Bears. Here's Pena, hands it off. And that was number 10, Daniel Esquivel on the carry. Picked up about 2 yards on the carry. Brings up a 3rd and long, 3rd and 7 for West Oso. There's a snap. And there's a sweep play. It looks like Eddie Garza. He goes nowhere. Picks up a yard, maybe 2, to about the 30-yard line.
Stop made by number 82, Derek Freeman.
And that's going to bring up a 4th down situation, punting situation for West Oso. Bringing up a 4th and 6. So punting the ball is going to be Quarterback Anthony Pena, a couple of people back to receive. That's number 7, John Zuniga. And number 6, Devin Jackson, as the punt takes a George West bounce and it is eventually fielded by West Oso as the ball bounces all the way inside the 20-yard line to about the 18 of the Bears. So that's where the Longhorns are going to take over and start their first possession. The referees move it out to about the 22-yard line of West Oso. Now, what a way for West Oso to begin. 3 and out, and then an unfavorable punt for them. And now here's George West. That's Devin Jackson under center. There's a man in motion. There's a snap. And there's the give to number 15, Michael Upton. And he takes it all the way down to about the 11-yard line. Does Upton. Call it the 13-yard line. Pickup of 9 yards. Going to bring up a 2nd and 1 after the run by Upton. Upton, a first-team selection last year, 440 rushing yards, 8 touchdowns. From the gun, 2-back set. Upton goes in motion. Here's the snap. And Jackson, with the keeper, pitches it out to Michael Upton for the score. George West strikes first. First-team selection last year, 440 rushing yards, 8 touchdowns. Replay. From the gun, 2-back set. Upton goes in motion. Here's the snap. There's the keeper. And Jackson. And there's the pitch out to the Upton all by himself. Nobody around him, and he just to Michael Upton for the untouched. What a play there by George West. As Riley Hugh comes in for the extra point attempt, the kick is up, and the kick is good with 9:55 left to go in the first quarter. George West out on top, 7-0 over hosting West Oso. After a 13-yard pitch and run by Michael Upton. And as we reset on the field and the kickoff teams come on, well, we're going to keep it here, but George West defense comes out, forces a 3 and out of West Oso. Then the Longhorns get the punt bounce heavily in their favor on a short punt, bounces all the way to the 22-yard line. A couple of plays later, put up 7 on the board. You to kick it away. And there's the kick. That was Tomas Moselle on the return. He returns it to about the West Oso 30, and that's where the Bears are going to set up shop for their second series of the game. 3 and out the first series. Let's see what they can do here. As Peña comes out. And there's a snap, and straight ahead is Ryan Garcia for a nice pickup. Picks up about 6 yards on the carry.
Number 7, John Juniper.
7, call it 8 yards on that last rush by Garcia. Benya keeps it. Short pass out to Rashad Carrington. Carrington gets up to the 40 to the 41. That's going to be a gain of about 3 yards there on the short pass, but it's enough for a George West first down. And 1st and 10 at the West Oso 41-yard line. Here's a snap. Benyon, the keeper, pitches it out to Carrington. Carrington passes the 45 up to about the 47-yard line.
Number 2, Rashad Carrington on the kick out quarterback on the right side. Stop made by number 15, Michael Upton.
And 1st and 10 as we go to the replay. Benyon here, we saw something similar with George West on their scoring drive. And there's the fake handoff. Benyon snap. Benyon, the keeper, the defense, and pitches it out to Carrington. Carrington passes the 45 up to about the 47-yard line. So it's going to bring up 2nd and 3 after a 7-yard pickup. Benyon's going to pass, and he had a receiver coming across the middle. That was Ernest Orodela, second team last year. Selection and incomplete. Going to bring up a 3rd and relatively short. 3rd and 3. It looks like a 3rd and a long 3. So West Oso going to come out with 5 wide, empty backfield. And there's a quick pass out to Carrington to the George West 48-yard line. And that's going to be enough for another West Oso first down, moving the chains methodically here. West Oso going to come out with 5 wide, empty backfield. As you see there, there's a quick pass out to Carrington and here's Carrington for another good run. And Carrington's going to get all the way out to the 30-yard line on that run. Picks up 18 on that rush. Finds some space to the right side. And West Oso going to line up quick. 1st and 10 at the George West 29-yard line. Low snap, but up ahead is Pena to the 24-yard line. Picks up about 5 on that rush. Going to bring up a 2nd and 5 as West Oso moving along with this drive without a huddle, slowly, methodically moving themselves down the field. As Benya looks to the sideline, have a man in motion, that's Eddie Garza. Spania has 1 running back, and he's going to give it to Ryan Garcia, and he's going to go nowhere. He's going to lose a yard at the 25-yard line. Looks to the sideline as we go, and we have a man in motion. That's Eddie Garza. See the penetration. Has George West 1 running back. Defense just got there. He's going to give it to Ryan Garcia, and he's going to go. Nice play there by the George West defense. Going to bring up a 3rd down and 5, and that's Spania under duress. He scrambles, throws it up the field, incomplete, intended for Ryan Garcia. Had a man, rushed the pass just a little bit, and a little bit too high there. So 4th and 5 at the George West 25 is what the West Oso Bears are facing, and it looks like they're going to line up and go for it here. Pena comes out, one back set. And that's going to be incomplete. He had Carrington. Hit him right in the numbers, just couldn't come up with it. As we look at that, comes out, one back set, come out with trips left. There's Pena surveys it. He has a and that's going to be incomplete right in the numbers. He had Carrington. Receiver just can't bring it in. So it's going to be first down, George West. And there's a pitch and a fumble. And what a break there for West Oso. That's going to be recovered by Eddie Garza. And receiver just can't bring it in. So, and it's going to be first and 10, West Oso. It's going to be, but let's see first down, George West. There's the pitch out. And there's a pitch and a fumble. Just doesn't go anywhere there. Just a little bit of a bad communication between the players there. So it's going to be first and 10, West Oso at the George West 15. And there's a rush by Zephaniah Rankin. Picks about 5 yards. Going to bring up a 2nd and 5 from the George West 10-yard line. Full house formation. Pena looks, keeps, and makes it back to the line of scrimmage on that one. Full house formation. Third down and 5, but Pena just looks, nowhere with it. Makes it back, try to dive up ahead into the line of scrimmage on that one there for him. Maybe got back to the line of scrimmage, as you can see. And back to the field. 3rd and 5. Pena once again from the gun. And he passes this one a little low to Carrington, but looks like he's able to connect with them this time to the 6-yard line. And that's going to be enough for a first down. It's going to be 1st and goal, West Oso. And we're going to have an official timeout on the field, bring in the chain gang to have a measurement. And that's going to be a first down. 1st and goal for West Oso at the George West 6. So 1st and goal, Bears from the George West 6-yard line. Anthony Pena in a full house formation as the clock goes. And here's the snap. And there's the give to Ryan Garcia. And Garcia's going to pick up a yard, maybe to the 5-yard line. Bring up 2nd and goal. And we have a timeout on the field. and that's going to be by George West as they want to talk about it. 2nd and goal coming up from the George West 5 as there's a timeout on the field. We'll take a timeout up here. I'm Mark Molina. This is Real Sports Live.
Sherryland ISD, a nationally recognized district focusing on quality and rigorous instruction where every child is immersed in a culture of academic success. A district dedicated to preparing our youth for the future. Our mission is to inspire, educate, and empower all students to reach their full potential and become leaders of the highest moral character. Sherryland ISD, excellence is our tradition.
The kids are headed back to school, and this year, more than ever, they'll need internet they can rely on from VTX1 companies. Internet that makes the grade is vital to connect students at home with teachers and professors alike. Our friendly staff is standing by to give you any help you may need. For a limited time only, get free.
And welcome back to West Oso. We're in the middle of a timeout. I'm Mark Molina. And the Bears right now threatening 2nd and goal from the George West 5-yard line. Last drive, the Bears were driving, stalled, but then forced a turnover. And a couple of plays later, here we are. 2nd and goal from the 5-yard line. Here's Pena. Gives it off to Rankin, and Rankin tries to find a little bit of daylight to the left side, but gonna go nowhere. They're driving, they go back, stalled to the replay, forced a turnover, and a couple of plays later, here we are. 2nd and goal from the 5-yard line with 3 backs and a full house set. Here's Pena. Gives it off to Rankin. George Rankin snuffs it out really, really quickly. And they've done that a couple of times here. And here's Spenya, drops back and he sees the white shirts coming. And he goes down all the way back to the 11-yard line. And all of a sudden we had a 2nd and goal from the 5-yard line. Now it's a 4th and goal all the way back to the George West 12 after that sack. 3 backs, and we go to the replay here to your right. Full house set. Here's Pena. He gives the hand gives it off to Rankin. So West Oso going to elect to take the points. It's going to be a 30-yard field goal attempt. And the kick is up. And the kick is good. And that's number 82, Arturo Hernandez, the senior kicker, puts the Bears on the board with a 30-yard field goal. And it's George West 7, West Oso 3. West Oso turning the George West turnover on the pitch attempt minutes ago into 3 points. Would have liked 7, got 3. But got 3 instead of coming away empty-handed. But can't help but wonder if that was a lost opportunity there by West Osos with the 2nd and 5 all the way, 2nd and goal all the way down at the 5, only to lose 6 yards the next 2 plays. As we await the kickoff, let's take a quick break. I'm Mark Molina, and this is Real Sports Live.
Company headquartered in the Rio Grande Valley. Call VTX1 at 1-800-446-2031. VTX1 Companies, connecting you since '52.
South Padre Island Golf Club. Come for a visit. Stay for a lifetime.
And here we go. West Oso getting ready to kick off. 3:12 left to go here in the opening quarter. Kicking off is Hernandez, who put West Oso on the board not too long ago with the 30-yard field goal. He's going to kick off, and awaiting it is George West's Michael Upton has a score, and that's fielded and botched by John Zuniga, and he's able to get up to the 25-yard line. Call it the 26-yard line, and that's where George West is going to take over for its third drive of the game. And it looks like they're going to re-kick here. After a penalty. So we're going to have a re-kick after the penalty once again. That's Arturo Hernandez going to kick off. Back waiting is Michael Upton deep. And we're going to have a shorter kick. And once again, this is going to be fielded by Zuniga. Zuniga gets away from a shoelace tackle. And he finds a little bit of room. And he makes it all the way up to the 45 to about the 46-yard line. So it's going to be 1st and 10 George West at the 47-yard line. And there's another penalty flag. Calling it offsides on West Oso. The referee signaled, it looked like. So with the 5 yards, it's going to be 1st and 10 George West from the West Oso 48-yard line. There's a snap, and there's a quick pass out to Derek Freeman up to about the 46-yard line. Picks up about 2 yards on the quick pass from Devin Jackson. And here's the give to Upton, and Upton gets tripped up, but he had daylight and nobody in front of him. Gets tripped up about the 20-yard line. Yards on the list pass from Devin Jackson. Let's go back to that replay. There's the give. He sees a little bit of a seam to the right side of the line, and he almost goes, but shoestring tackle saves the touchdown for West Oso. And Zuniga gets the carry, makes it up to about the 17-yard line. Pick up about 3 there. 3, call it 4 yards. They're going to go to Upton once again. Upton into the middle of the line. Gets up to about the 12-yard line. Picks up another 4 yards. Going to bring up a 3rd and short. And about going to be a 3rd and short 3rd and 1 at the 11-yard line after the rush. Jackson giving the signals pre-snap. Here's a man in motion. That's Freeman coming across. Here's the snap. Fakes the toss and the give up ahead to Zuniga. And Zuniga gets the first down and more down to about the 7-yard line. See there's the fake, and then there's the short give there to Zuniga. Zuniga rambles up ahead to about the 7-yard line. And there's the fake by Jackson, and Jackson is going to walk into the end zone for a 7-yard
Touchdown for the Longhorns.
a 7-yard rush, second rushing touchdown by the Longhorns. With 13 seconds to go. And there's the kick, the extra point, and it is good. And George West now leads 14-3 after that touchdown run. A lot going on in the George West backfield pre-snap. A lot of fakes, a lot of misdirections. But this one, they fake the give to Zuniga. And Devin Jackson just able to walk in for the 7-yard touchdown to make it 14-0. Even looks like our cameraman got a little bit fooled there on that one. But nevertheless, George West leading 14-3 over the hosting West Oso Bears. 13 seconds left to go in the first quarter. And let's take a quick break as we wait for the kickoff.
Fans, if you want to look your best at the next game, then let Chewy's Custom Sports go to work for you. From custom designs and graphics to mass production in-house. If it's hats, shirts, buttons, mugs, cups, banners, and more, then Chewy's is there for every team and every sport. A veteran-owned company in touch with the community. It's Chewy's Custom Sports in San Benito.
And we're back here from West Oso. 13 seconds to go here. And George West going to be kicking off to West Oso. 7-yard touchdown run. Moments ago by senior quarterback Devin Jackson for his first rushing touchdown of the season. He had 11 total touchdowns last year and rushed for 361 yards, passed for another 563. And the ball bounces past West Oso, and it's finally fielded. But a rough return there for the Bears, and they will take over deep in their own territory. With 7 seconds left to go. Looks like it's going to be 1st and 10 West Oso from its own 7-yard line. And West Oso in the last 2 drives, they've looked pretty sharp. Running the no huddle, not overly quick, but running the no huddle, making their way downfield methodically. Nice balance to the offense, but only 3 points to show for it. As here's Pena. Fakes the give, comes around to his right, dances around and picks up a couple of yards to about the 9-yard line, and that's how the quarter is going to end, with George West scoring touchdowns on 2 of 3 possessions leading West Oso 14-3 after one quarter. We're going to swap sides here as we begin the second quarter here momentarily. But before that, we're going to take a quick break and we're going to have the second quarter action back here for you. This is Real Sports Live. I'm Mark Molina, bringing you week one action here from West Oso High School. We'll be back.
Texas Fest on March 13 and 14 at the San Benito Fairgrounds. Experience the Battle of the Alamo. See the fabulous Grammy winner Eddie Da Reina Yavante and legendary Jaime de Anda, plus Los Garcia Brothers, Sereno, H3, Grupo Ácido, huge car show, market days, and join the IBCA State Championship Cook-Off. Take in native Indian, folklorico, and Aztec dancers, Reyes dancing horses, and rock climbing wall and games. Don't miss Texas Fest in San Benito.
Music lovers, you have to stop and see the assortment of records, tapes, and records memorabilia at Forever Memories today. Located at 237 North Sam Houston in San Benito, Texas, there's over 10,000 records on display and more coming every day. Looking for your favorite album from the past, first pressings, collectibles, how about a 45 with a single you just have to have? Freddie Fender, Johnny Cash, Hank Williams, Elvis, Beatles, blues, rock, classics, Tejano, it's all here. Organized and priced for you. Forever Memories, 237 North Sam Houston, San Benito.
Welcome back to West Oso as we get ready for the start of the second quarter. It's going to be a 2nd down and 8 for West Oso after a 2-yard pickup on 1st down to end the first quarter. Here's Pena. He's going to go deep. He's got a man with a step and unable to connect. And that's Jalen James had a step on Carson Polsek of George West. With the ball just out of the hands of the receiver. It's going to bring up a 3rd and long for West Oso. So it's going to bring up a 3rd and long for West Oso, deep in their own territory. Banya to pass. Scrambles away to his right. Passes, and that's incomplete, out of bounds, and that's going to bring up a 4th and 8. As we see, Benya gets chased to his right and throws the pass away. Had a receiver in the area, but nothing to it there. And West Oso once again gonna have to punt. Punting is Benya out of his own end zone. Nice punt. Goes out of bounds at around the George West 42-yard line. So nice punt by Pena, kicking it deep from his own end zone and gets it past the 50. About a 60-yard punt by Pena there. That's all you can ask for in that situation. If you're not going to get the first down, at least get a good punt out of it, and they did just that. So 11:39 to go here in the second quarter. George West out on offense once again. Devin Jackson has 2 backs in the backfield, and there's Upton in motion as the referee stops play for the chain gang to get set. And referee blows the whistle, and here we go. Jackson back there, 2-back set. Upton once again in motion. And there's the keeper by Jackson, and Jackson taken down in the backfield by West Oso.
Stop made by number 33, Jacob Galan, and 54, Jordan.
As we go to the replay, on the right. See the man in motion, and West Oso does a good job as they've already been burned on a pitch before RPO type option. And here's the carry to Upton, and Upton another long run. And Upton's going to go all the way down into West Oso territory. Gets taken down inside the 20-yard line. Let's go to the replay. There's Upton, finds a seam on the left side of the line, and he gets away, and it's just a foot race at that point. Nice job. Picks up about 45 yards on the run. And they give it to Zuniga, and Zuniga barrels up ahead. And he gets up to about the 13-yard line. Gonna bring up second down after about a 3-yard pickup. About 5 yards there, 2nd and 5. There's Zuniga goes in motion. And here's the give to Upton, up the middle once again. And that's going to be enough for a first down and more. And there's going to be a timeout West Oso after the Longhorns pick up another rushing first down. Upton having himself quite the night on the ground. Has the long run, and he barrels up ahead here for another first down. So it's going to be 1st and goal, George West at the West Oso 7-yard line. And the Bears want to talk about it a little bit. So we're going to take a quick break here, and we're going to bring you back to the action. Inside of 10 minutes left here in the first half. George West leading 14-3 over West Oso. Let's take a break.
At HCISD, we move the needle forward every day.
We'll blaze a trail for future generations.
It's not just about equipping students with skills for the future. We awaken their potential and empower them to make good choices.
No matter where you're from or where you're headed, there's a place for you to flourish at HCISD.
Hi fans, today's game is brought to you by New York Life. Best of luck to your team.
And I'm Danielle Goslin, and I'm a partner with New York Life Insurance Company. For over 170 years, New York Life has built a reputation of developing the most successful professionals in the industry.
We help to manage the process from day one and guide you on your way to success. If you're looking to challenge yourself and build an insurance and financial service business,
then we would like to show you how we can help.
Welcome back to West Oso. I'm Mark Molina. I'm bringing you coverage here of West Oso hosting George West. It was a 1st and goal at the 7, but after a loss of 4, 2nd and goal at the 11 here for George West. And here's the pitch. Upton jumps over a defender and into the end zone from 11 yards out. Upton, another score. This one from 11 yards out. Let's go to the replay, and there's a man in motion there to start the play. And just a simple toss here to Upton to the right. Jumps over a defender and just moseys on into the end zone for his 2nd rushing touchdown of the game. And that ground game giving West Oso fits here. And there's the kick. It's no good. Clanks off one of the uprights, but nevertheless, George West up 20-3. And that George West running game paying off. As all three scores on the ground, we had a Upton open the scoring with a 7-yard run in the first quarter, followed by a 7-yard run by Jackson, and then 11 yards here. Both these guys combined for 19 total touchdowns last year, and 800 yards rushing on the ground. So Jackson and Upton just really picking apart that West Oso defense, and just a good push up front in the trenches. A lot of good blocking going on there by George West, allowing them to have success. But this is the George West team, has back some key players in a 12-1 season last year, in which they got to the third round before losing to Hallettsville. So it looks like they're going to be shaping up once again to have another district championship season, as this kick is going to sail out of bounds. There's the penalty. $9:19 to go here in the second quarter. And West Oso going to try to make something happen before this game begins to slip away. Down just theoretically 2 scores here, 17 points. So down 3 possessions. West Oso comes out as the referees place the ball, and after the penalty, they're going to get a bit of a break. Good starting field position here at their own 38-yard line, and that's where West Oso is going to begin this drive. And Benny gives it to Humphrey. Excuse me. That's Rankin up ahead. Nice pickup of about 6 there. Going to bring up a second down and about 4-yard line, and about 4 yards from the 44-yard line of West Oso. And here's another run, this one to Ryan Garcia, up ahead, about a yard, half a yard short of the first down, picks up about 3 on the run. West Oso beginning to move a little bit quicker here on the offensive side of the ball. Hispania working from the gun, the one-back set. 3rd and short. And here's to give. Rankin has some room to the left side. Makes a couple of people miss and picks up the first down. And there's a timeout on the field. Let's go to the replay as George West takes the timeout here. And just what they've been running the last couple of plays. Here's the give there. Stops, stutter steps, and heads to the left. Does Rankin there. Nice running for the first down. And we got a timeout out on the field as George West wants to talk about it, as the Bears have come out with 3 straight runs for a first down. And the Bears facing a 1st and 10 at the George West 46-yard line. And West Oso, despite going 4-7 last year, were a playoff team. Put up 32 points in a by-district game against Raymondville, and 32 points is a good effort, but against a team like Raymondville that had a lot of volatile players last year, really high-powered offense. You know, they were just simply outmatched. And here's a quick pass out to the flat. That's number 2, Carrington. And Carrington dances around and is going to lose about 5 yards back to the West Oso 49. It's going to be 1st and 10 from the 48. It's going to be a 6-yard loss on the play. And there's a snap faked by Peña, and then there's a pitch. To Carrington. Nice play there. As we go back to the replay, we've seen a lot of this by both teams. You know, they fake the handoff there, and then there's the pitch, comes out to the right, picks up a good amount of yardage, back to the original line of scrimmage and a little bit more. Carrington goes. Coming up on 7 minutes, here's a snap by Peña, and Peña's going to pass, and just out of the reach of his wide receiver. That's Ernest Rodela there out on the right side. First pass we've seen in a while here from West Oso. And going to be a 4th and 9, and West Oso is going to go for it here as they are in George West territory. And Peña stops, fires, and he had a man in the middle, but just couldn't get on target there. And there's a penalty flag down. We had a legal man downfield, but let's check out the replay as Peña throws downfield there, as you see in the replay. Legal man downfield, but penalty is going to be declined, and George West is just going to take the turnover on downs as they set up shop at their own 45-yard line. So 6:49 to go here in the first half. George West back on the field. 1st and 10. One back set, man in motion. And here's the rollout by Jackson. Jackson evades a tackler, throws downfield. He has the man. That's Hugh. But couldn't hold on to the ball, and it looked like he might have been out of bounds anyway. Gotta like the thinking there, as West Oso probably coming out expecting run, fake the handoff, nice rollout there, gets into trouble, has a man there, just can't connect. It's Jackson back in the gun, one back, set. Freeman goes in motion, and they give this to Freeman, and Freeman makes it all the way up to about the West Oso 38 before he's forced out of bounds. Nice piece of running there by Freeman. You see Freeman there going in motion and finds a crease, gets to the left sideline, and able to pick up a few yards before he's taken out of bounds. Here's the first down play. Here's the give to Logan Adesiba. Adesiba all the way up to the 22-yard line. Picks up another 16 yards on the rush.
Ball spotted at the 23-yard line, first and 10 for the Horns.
Go to our split screen. Give to Adesiba. Found some daylight there to the left. They've had a lot of success on the ground game, and it's continuing here. And there's the give to Zuniga. Zuniga has nowhere to go, and that play snuffed out by West Oso. The first down run picks up, maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, maybe picks up one. Let's go to the replay, and they give to Zuniga. A nice penetration there by West Oso to put the clamps on it, holding them to a minimal gain there. So it's going to bring up a second in a short 10. Probably got about a half a yard as we're coming up to on about 5 minutes to go. Man in motion here. Jackson with the split back. Keeps it. Makes his way up to the left. First down and more. Gets up to about the 13-yard line before he's forced out of bounds.
Devon Jackson on the carry for the Horns, making the first down for the West.
There's Jackson's split back set, a man in motion coming across. There's a lot of things going on pre-snap with these Longhorns. There's the fake, and then just a lot of room there for Jackson as he finds room on that left sideline. They've been doing that a lot this drive in particular here on the left side. Seems to be a sweet spot. And here's another nice run. By Adesiba. Gets up to about the 10-yard line on that run. Does Adesiba. He's had a couple of nice runs on this drive as the Longhorns spreading the carries around. Did a lot of that last season. There was several backs with at least 200 yards rushing on the roster last year. So here's another fake handoff, and Jackson runs off to the left, and he finds some room, and he's going to get into the end zone for another score. This one from 9 yards out. Let's go to the replay. You know, there's a man in motion. There's the fake. The defense just gets sucked in, and you see our cameraman got sucked in as well, and we have another run, another 9-yard run, another touchdown. And after the 2-point conversion, it is 28-3. As we wait the kickoff, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll bring you back to the action. 4 minutes to go here. I'm Mark Molina. This is Real Sports Live.
When in Port Mansfield, be sure to stop in Laguna Madre Baits, the home of Laguna Girl 1 and 2. They ensure that you have the best when it comes to your fishing needs. Locally caught bait, including live shrimp and croaker. Frozen baits, caught locally, frozen shrimp, squid, mullet, and more. Dress the part with full outdoor apparel. Drinks, ice, snacks, groceries, and fishing supplies for any need. Access by road or by boat. Look for the blue building and the blue shrimp boats. Laguna Madre Baits, 828 Westport Drive, Port Mansfield, Texas.
And we're back, and we have a short kickoff. And there's going to be a penalty flag. As we see the short kick in the air, it looks like an onside attempt, but didn't look like it went 10 yards, and the referee's going to throw a flag. And in lieu of a re-kick, looks like we're going to have West Oso set up in George West territory at the George West 48-yard line after the penalty. So nice opportunity here for West Oso to try to put something on the board before halftime. They have about 4 minutes. Haven't had a lot of success moving the ball offensively. Showed signs of it in the first quarter, but nothing here. 4:02 to go. First down from George West 48-yard line. Here's the rush.
Number 53, currently on the stop.
And that's Rankin, who gets back to the line of scrimmage. Might have lost a little bit of yardage. Maybe. Looks like he got back right on the nose. So it's 2nd and 10. West Oso. There's a snap to Peña. Peña fakes the give, and he pitches it out, and the ball's on the ground. As they try to pitch it out to Carrington. West Oso able to get back on that one. As it brings up a third and about 14 here. As you see, there's the fake. And there's the pitch. And play results in a loss of 4. So 3rd and 14. Peña back to pass. Looks to his left. Has a man. It's Carrington. And Carrington all the way up to the 44-yard line. Picks up about 7 on the play. But still brings up a 4th down. And 7. And they're going to go. Peña tried Carrington again. It was an incomplete pass. George West thinks they came up with it on a interception, but either way, turnover on downs. Let's go back to the replay. After a nice 7-yard pickup, Peña goes, trips to the right. Quick pass. Hits him in the numbers again. Just can't come up with it. Carrington can't. And first down for George West. There's a pass out on the flat. As Polsak makes a man miss, and he gets up to the 41-yard line. See the quick pass out there. Makes a couple of people miss, and he's able to pick up a couple of yards there on a play that could have resulted in a loss. So 2nd and 8, 4 wide receivers. As Jackson scrambles, and he's going to get taken down behind the line of scrimmage. Chalk that up as a sack. He had nowhere to go there. Back to the replay. As he steps back, looks to pass, and just a bunch of red jerseys around him, and he can't get back to the line of scrimmage as West Oso picks up the sack. Trips left here, and Jackson rolls to that side, and he has a man right at the sticks. And that's number 11, Steven Gonzalez. going to be a first down. George West at their own 49-yard line. As we're inside of 1 minute to go here in the half. George West trying to add to its lead before. And here's a handoff to Zuniga. Zuniga up ahead. Picks up about 7 on the play. Gonna bring up 2nd down and 4 from the West Oso 45-yard line. It's about 30 seconds to go here in the half. And what a catch there by Gonzalez as Jackson with the quick throw. See Gonzalez up to the 35-yard line. Quick pass there. Let's go back to the replay. As they lined up after the run on the previous play. And Jackson, quick pass, throws it a little bit behind Gonzalez there, but he's able to stretch out and get to it. And here's Jackson, throws deep, has a man in the middle, and nice play on defense by Ernest Rodela. Rodela broke that one up. And saved what could have been a touchdown. As we go to the replay here, and just comes out of nowhere, there's Rodela to make the save there, as you can see. Here's Jackson, steps back to pass, and he has some room to run. Picks up the first down and out of bounds at the 25-yard line, but not before time expires, and that's how the half's going to end, with a first down run to the 25-yard line. But it's George West 28, West Oso 3 at the half. West Oso coming out, putting up 4 rushing touchdowns, and we'll talk a little bit about that in a couple of minutes. But right now, as we go to the half, we're going to take a quick break here, but we're going to come right back here and talk about what we saw in the first half a little bit. So keep it right here at Real Sports Live. I'm Mark Molina, and we'll be right back.
Forever Memories, Antiques and Collectibles, located at 237 North Sam Houston in San Benito, is filled with vintage items, collectibles, and a selection of vinyl records that's as good as it gets. Every shelf, every aisle, and table is filled daily by a number of vendors that ensures that something here just might be the item you have to have. The vinyl record area helps bring an added atmosphere that makes for the fun trip when stepping back in time with the memories. Forever Memories, Antiques and Collectibles in San Benito. TVNS specializes in provider services, respite care, and emergency response services. TVNS are pioneers in the home care industry, in service for over 37 years. 11 locations from Brownsville to Corpus Christi, from Harlingen to Laredo.
Today's game is sponsored by TVNS, the pioneers in serving our community with the highest quality in provider services.
Sherryland ISD, a nationally recognized district focusing on quality and rigorous instruction where every child is immersed in a culture of academic success. A district dedicated to preparing our youth for the future. Our mission is to inspire, educate, and empower all students to reach their full potential and become leaders of the highest moral character. Sherryland ISD, excellence is our tradition.
The kids are headed back to school, and this year, more than ever, they'll need internet they can rely on from VTX1 companies. Internet that makes the grade is vital to connect students at home with teachers and professors alike. Our friendly staff is standing by to give you any help you may need. For a limited time only, get free installation from a company headquartered in the Rio Grande Valley. Call VTX1 at 1-800-446-2031. VTX1 Companies, connecting you since '52.
South Padre Island Golf Club. Come for a visit. Stay for a lifetime.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are at halftime about 25 minutes to go before the start of the second half here, and it's been all George West and the running game in particular. Going back and look how the first half unfolded. Started off the night with Michael Upton, senior running back. He's had a really good night on the ground. A couple of touchdowns from 7 and 11 yards out, respectively. They started the night with a 7-yard run off an RPO option type play, a pitch to the left side of the line. He was able just to walk in after Devin Jackson faked the run to the left, stopped in his tracks, stopped the defense, sucked him in, and allowed Upton just to waltz into the end zone from 7 yards out untouched. And Jackson not to be outdone in the next series with a 7-yard touchdown. He has a couple of touchdowns on the ground. And he has another from 9 yards out, and as does Upton from 11 yards out. So both of them combining for all 4 touchdowns here on the night. We expected a lot of this coming out of the George West offense running game. Last year, as we mentioned, just had numerous players who can touch the ball and go for good yards. Had several people on the roster last season can go for more than 100 yards. Had a player for 400 plus, 500 plus here and there. Just a lot of rushing yards sprinkled around an offense that gained more than 3,000 yards on the ground last year, 1,500 more through the air. But you look at a quarterback like Devin Jackson, who got playing time as a junior sparingly, rushed for 361 yards, passed for 563 more with 11 total touchdowns. And we expected Upton to come out and have another solid year, 440 rushing yards, 8 touchdowns, a first team nod last year in the All-District. And John Zuniga, who was named the All-District Running Back of the Year, the fullback, he's had a couple of nice runs here as well. We saw Logan Adesiba get a couple of touches near the end of the second quarter. He had a couple of good runs, a couple of first down runs there for the Longhorns. So all George West here on the ground. So looking to see if they can come out and do more of that. They're probably going to want to, so they can begin to salt this game away against the West Oso team that has come out, had a couple of good productive drives early on in the first half. Tried to take advantage of a George West turnover on one of those pitch plays, but just couldn't do that. Came up with only 3 points out of it and haven't done much since. They had those 2 drives. They drove deep into George West territory, but were able only to come out with the Arturo Hernandez 30-yard field goal for the 3 points that they have on the board right now. But other than that, not much else coming out from West Oso right now, as Coach Brad Smitty, first-year coach, and his boys in the locker room scratching their heads, trying to figure out what they can do to slow down this George West running game that has just come out and run rampant on them in the first half of week 1. But here we are. It's a different time. Usually we would have bands or pep squad cheerleaders doing a routine at halftime, but we're going to see none of that here. And in the near future, we're not expecting much of that either, due to the COVID-19 pandemic and social distancing rules. And as usually, we would have a poly-packed stands here, but a lot of people still coming out tonight, still adhering to the social distancing policies and the policies set forth by West Oso ISD. So commending them on doing a really solid job since we've been here covering them the last a couple of weeks, whether it be here at the football stadium for a scrimmage or and them doing their due diligence over at the gym for volleyball. We've been there for a couple of games and a scrimmage. So just keep it here at Real Sports Live as we are bringing you multiple games here from the Coastal Bend area. I believe we have about 6 games total here on the gridiron. Football, we had 2 volleyball games, so a couple of games here streaming, so make sure to catch us here. You'll be able to see the replays. They're still going to be up on our social media sites. That's Facebook, Twitter, YouTube Live. As I mentioned, we have Roku TV, Roku Network, and Apple TV, but those apps right now are down for us, so we'll have those back and working this next week. But find us everywhere you guys do social media. That's Real Sports Live. You can find all our archives, live content, our sideline sit-down shows where we do interviews with coaches, players, former players, student athletes from the Rio Grande Valley, and now the Coastal Bend. So see replays of those live shows during the week. We usually do them Monday and Wednesday now, with sports kicking up once again. But you'll be able to find those archives as well as live games and the live re-air telecast that we do. It's a sort of a live channel. So check it out, Real Sports Live, wherever you do social media. But we're inside of 20 minutes left on halftime as we hear a cadence outside right now with the little bit of band members that came out here for West Oso. It's a condensed version of what would usually be a marching band, but as we said, due to the COVID-19 guidelines and the social distancing rules, it's a little bit different scene here for these Friday Night Lights, but Friday Night Lights nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen. So keep it here at Real Sports Live. We're going to take a break and we'll come back here and talk a little bit more what we saw in the first half. I'm Mark Molina. Keep it here.
Fans, if you want to look your best at the next game, then let Chewy's Custom Sports go to work for you. From custom designs and graphics to mass production in-house. If it's hats, shirts, buttons, mugs, cups, banners, and more, then Chewy's is there for every team and every sport. A veteran-owned company in touch with the community. It's Chewy's Custom Sports in San Benito.
Come and enjoy 2 full days of Texas Fest on March 13 and 14 at the San Benito Fairgrounds. Experience the Battle of the Alamo. See the fabulous Grammy winner Eddie the Reina Yavante and legendary Jaime de Anda, plus Los Garcia Brothers, Sereno, H3, Grupo Ácido, huge car show, market days, and join the IBCA State Championship Cook-Off. Take in Native Indian, Folklorico, and Aztec dancers, Reyes dancing horses, and rock climbing wall and games. Don't miss Texas Fest in San Benito.
Music lovers, you have to stop and see the assortment of records, tapes, and records memorabilia at Forever Memories today. Located at 237 North Sam Houston in San Benito, Texas, there's over 10,000 records on display and more coming every day. Looking for your favorite album from the past, first pressings, collectibles? How about a 45 with a single you just have to have? Freddie Fender, Johnny Cash, Hank Williams, Elvis, Beatles, blues, rock, classics, Tejano, it's all here. Organized and priced for you. Forever Memories, 237 North Sam Houston, San Benito.
At HCISD, we move the needle forward every day.
We'll blaze a trail for future generations.
It's not just about equipping students with skills for the future. We awaken their potential and empower them to make good choices.
No matter where you're from or where you're headed, there's a place for you to flourish at HCISD.
Hi fans, today's game is brought to you by New York Life. Best of luck to your team.
And I'm Danielle Goslin, and I'm a partner with New York Life Insurance Company. For over 170 years, New York Life has built a reputation of developing the most successful professionals in the industry.
We help to manage the process from day one and guide you on your way to success. If you're looking to challenge yourself and build an insurance and financial service business,
then we would like to show you how we can help.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Mark Molina, and this is Real Sports Live, coming to you from West Oso High School's Bear Stadium, where we are at halftime in a Week 1 matchup between the hosting West Oso Bears and the George West Longhorns. The Longhorns right now holding the 28-3 advantage at halftime, thanks in large part to their running game, consisting of mostly Devin Jackson, number 6, and Michael Upton, number 15. Upton with a 7-yard run early on to put the Longhorns ahead, followed by a 7-yard run by Jackson, and then they traded off 9 and 11-yard runs respectively. So 4 total touchdowns here between Jackson and Upton to give George West a 28-3 lead. Remind you that George West last year went all the way to the third round of the playoffs before losing to Hallettsville 28-21. And what a strong George West team that was. As a team that was really solid all over the place. Boasting players like co-district MVP Brandon Henneke, who was a senior last year. These are guys they're replacing, but they look pretty good. Co-defensive player of the year Ryan Thomasy, a junior. Last year, he's back at linebacker. And then you had a quarterback like Colton Orr. He was a co-offensive player of the year, really one of the spark plugs of that offense last year. So really, really high-powered George West offense. But last year, Jackson passing the ball went 44 completions on 67 attempts for 563 yards, with 6 touchdown passes to 5 interceptions. So had a 90% completion percentage, did Jackson last year. But on the ground is where he was a lot more impressive. Averaged 6.1 yards per carry, 367 yards total last year, with another 5 touchdowns on the ground. So he's back this year, hoping to do that and much more, but off to a good start in the first half. A couple of touchdowns from 7 and 9 yards out, respectively, for Jackson. And updating you on the Fall City Three Rivers game, 21-13 Fall City leading over Three Rivers. Kevin Naro has the call on that game. So just make sure to check out everything that's going on here with Real Sports Live. Have Woodsboro and Taft, Odom and Ingleside going on as well. Fall City, Three Rivers, as we've mentioned there. We have the Miller Bucks, CC Miller against Tuloso Midway, at Tuloso Midway. Excuse me, at Miller. Over there at Buck Stadium. And we have the Fuhio taking on Divine. All a part of our Friday night slate. We also had Santa Gertrudis taking on Miller volleyball earlier today. So all that and much more here at Real Sports Live. You can go and find that on our archives, whether it be on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube channel. Just type in Real Sports Live wherever you do social media, and you'll be able to check out our live content and much, much more. Check out our Instagram page for the videos, players of the week. You can also find our show schedules and sideline sit-down schedules and photos and much, much more, that on Instagram as well. So wherever you do your social media, that's Real Sports Live. Check us out at www.realsportslive.com for our website as well. We also have some nice written articles done by yours truly and everybody else there at Real Sports Live, the staff, Kevin Naro, Billy Watson, and more. Much, much more. So make sure to check us out there at Real Sports Live. And just about 10 minutes to go before we come back for the second half. Once again, just want to remind everybody there's no bands, no performances like we usually have tonight. Just everybody adhering to the COVID-19 guidelines. But we do have a small band here for West Oso playing cadences, stand tunes and whatnot. So keeping a little bit of semblance of what normalcy was for Friday Night Lights, but nonetheless, it is Friday Night Lights, as I mentioned before, ladies and gentlemen. Happy that it's here. This is Week 1 football, Real Sports Live. And we're going to take another break, and we're going to come back, talk a little bit more, and then we'll have the second half for you coming up about 9:30 and counting. So keep it here. I'm Mark Molino. This is Real Sports Live. We'll be back.
When in Port Mansfield, be sure to stop in Laguna Madre Baits, the home of Laguna Girl 1 and 2. They ensure that you have the best when it comes to your fishing needs. Locally caught bait, including live shrimp and croaker. Frozen baits, caught locally, frozen shrimp, squid, mullet, and more. Dress the part with full outdoor apparel. Drinks, ice, snacks, groceries, and fishing supplies for any need. Access by road or by boat. Look for the blue building and the blue shrimp boats. Laguna Madre Baits, 828 Westport Drive, Port Mansfield, Texas. Forever Memories, Antiques and Collectibles, located at 237 North Sam Houston in San Benito, is filled with vintage items, collectibles, and a selection of vinyl records that's as good as it gets. Every shelf, every aisle, and table is filled daily by a number of vendors that ensures that something here just might be the item you have to have. The vinyl record area helps bring an added atmosphere that makes for the fun trip when stepping back in time with the memories. Forever Memories, Antiques and Collectibles in San Benito. TVNS specializes in provider services, respite care, and emergency response services. TVNS are pioneers in the home care industry, in service for over 37 years. 11 locations from Brownsville to Corpus Christi, from Harlingen to Laredo.
Today's game is sponsored by TVNS, the pioneers in serving our community with the highest quality in provider services.
Sherryland ISD, a nationally recognized district focusing on quality and rigorous instruction where every child is immersed in a culture of academic success. A district dedicated to preparing our youth for the future. Our mission is to inspire, educate, and empower all students to reach their full potential and become leaders of the highest moral character. Sherryland ISD, excellence is our tradition.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Mark Molina. This is Real Sports Live. We're about 6.5 minutes from the second half of our Week 1 game here between the hosting West Oso Running Bears and the George West Longhorns, the visitors. From District 16-3A D1, taking on West Oso here at 16-4A Division 2 in this non-district Week 1 matchup. George West really dominating on the ground, moving the ball up and down the field methodically, grinding it out against West Oso, which has not had a lot of success on the offensive side of the ball. We'll look to see if they make any adjustments here in the second half and what answer they have for that Longhorn running game. But before we do that, we have a couple of scores here from across the area and the state. As we mentioned, we had Taft and Woodsboro. Taft leading 42-0 at halftime. Poth and Lytle. Poth, the Pirates, leading the Lytle Pirates 40-7. And that's also at halftime. And one of our other games, Ingleside taking on Odom at Odom. Ingleside, the Mustangs, leading the Owls 12-0 at the half. Over to Orange Grove, as the Orange Grove Bulldogs hosting the Sinton Pirates, 26-16, the Pirates leading at the half. And we have the state-ranked Miller Buccaneers all over Tolosa Midway, 34-7 at the half. And then we have Rockport Fulton, the Pirates, in the third quarter, leading Aransas Pass, 12-0. A little bit further up north, the Blanco High School Panthers leading 35-0. That's in the third quarter against Yorktown. And we have the state-ranked number 9 Fall City Beavers. That's the game Kevin Aro is calling here for Real Sports Live over at Three Rivers. The Fall City Beavers leading the Three Rivers Bulldogs 21-13 at the half. Then we have Flatonia leading the Runge Yellow Jackets 27-6. That's in the third quarter. We have the state-ranked Ganado Indians trailing the Industrial Cobras 12-0 at the half. So just some scores from around the area and the state here, but just keep it here to Real Sports Live. We have a couple of those games on our slate. We have the Woodsboro Taft game. We have the Ingleside Odom game. We have the Miller Tolosa Midway game. This game, George West, West Oso, Fall City, and Three Rivers. So make sure just to keep it here at Real Sports Live and go ahead and pick out any game you please there. We got them all. We have 6 going on tonight. Here, big night for Real Sports Live is taking another huge step in our coverage of the Coastal Bend. Of course, we don't forget the Rio Grande Valley. We're based out of the Rio Grande Valley here and have covered for the last couple of years. But as we grow, so does our coverage reach, and we're happy just to be here in the Coastal Bend area and cover another crop of very talented student athletes at the high school level at another area that's passionate about its sports, just like the Rio Grande Valley here in the Coastal Bend.
Couple of scores, ladies and gentlemen, FYI, here at the halftime at Oso.
And it's about 2.5 minutes before we get to the third quarter here.
We have a score of Taft 42, Woodsboro.
But West Oso, the Bears, the story of the half, cannot stop this George West running game. Whether it be quarterback Devin Jackson, running back Michael Upton, fullback John Zuniga or even Logan Adesiba, who got a couple of carries late in the half. The George West Longhorns could do no wrong handing the ball off. And West Oso has done a good job, has looked good in spurts, gotten a couple of first down here and there, had a couple of drives early on that they put together, but only came away with 3 points, a 30-yard field goal by Arturo Hernandez back in the first half. But other than that, not much going on for the West Oso offense. But their defense has their handful with George West, so we're going to see if that continues. And we are inside a minute and a half left to go here, so we're going to take our last break of halftime, and then we're going to come back for the second half of our coverage of week 1 here from West Oso High School between West Oso and George West. Keep it here, and we'll be back. Let's take a break. I'm Mark Molina, and this is Real Sports Live.
The kids are headed back to school, and this year, more than ever, they'll need internet they can rely on from VTX1 companies. Internet that makes the grade is vital to connect students at home with teachers and professors alike. Our friendly staff is standing by to give you any help you may need. For a limited time only, get free installation from a company headquartered in the Rio Grande Valley. Call VTX1 at 1-800-446-2031. VTX1 Companies, connecting you since '52.
South Padre Island Golf Club. Come for a visit. Stay for a lifetime.
Fans, if you want to look your best at the next game, then let Chewy's Custom Sports go to work for you. From custom designs and graphics to mass production in-house. If it's hats, shirts, buttons, mugs, cups, banners, and more, then Chewy's is there for every team and every sport. A veteran-owned company in touch with the community. It's Chewy's Custom Sports in San Benito.
Come and enjoy 2 full days of Texas Fest on March 13 and 14 at the San Benito Fairgrounds. Experience the Battle of the Alamo. See the fabulous Grammy winner Elida Reina Yavante and legendary Jaime de Anda, plus Los Garcia Brothers, Sereno, H3, Grupo Ácido, huge car show, market days, and join the IBCA State Championship Cook-Off. Take in Native Indian, Folklorico, and Aztec dancers, Reyes dancing horses, and rock climbing wall and games. Don't miss Texas Fest in San Benito.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Mark Molina. This is Real Sports Live, and we are back for the start of the third quarter here between the hosting West Oso Bears and the visiting George West Longhorns. The Longhorns leading 28-3 after one half, and the Longhorns will get the first crack on offense after kicking the ball and deferring in the first half. Let's see what adjustments, if any, that the West Oso defense has, as they're going to be put to the test really quickly coming out of the half. Four rushing touchdowns by George West in the first half, making up their scoring. And a 30-yard field goal by West Oso accounts for their 3 points. So we're lining up for the kickoff. We're going to have number 82, Arturo Hernandez, kick it away for the Bears as he makes his way out to the 40-yard line to set the tee. Back deep for West Oso is Upton. For George West is Upton. Also number 7, Joshua Zuniga. it looks like Zuniga's going to field it back at the 15-yard line. Zuniga dances around, finds a seam, breaks past 35. He's still on his feet to the 45, down to the 48-yard line. Nice return by Zuniga to open up the half. The referee's going to mark him down at about the 46-yard line.
At the 46-yard line.
So that's where George West is going to set up shop here to begin the second half, their first drive. Leading 28-3. Jackson with two backs. There's the handoff to Upton. Upton dances around up in the middle of the line, past the 50-yard line, up to about the West Oso 47-yard line. Picks up about 7 yards on the carry. Does Upton bring up a second and short for the Longhorns. The scoreboard says 2 yards. We call it a long 2 yards here. And Jackson, quick pass out to the flat to Gonzalez, and Gonzalez doesn't make the catch. Low pass there, a little bit rushed. Gonna bring up 3rd and short for George West. Big play here for West Oso. It'd be nice for them to get the stop here, get off the field, coming out of the locker room like that. Zuni got a lone back in the backfield. There's a fake by Jackson, and Jackson thought about the pitch, and he goes nowhere. Picks up maybe about a yard. Jackson gets up to about the 45-yard line. He's going to be about a yard short of the first down. And it's going to be a 4th and a long one for the Longhorns here. And looks like the Longhorns are looking to the sideline, and they're going to line up and go for it, up 28-3. So Jackson in the gun with Zuniga and Upton in the backfield with them. Here's the pitch to Upton, and Upton has a lot of room past the 40-yard line up to about the 38, picks up the first down and more. And that's going to be 1st and 10 for the Longhorns. As we go to the replay. And Upton just been so good on the ground, able to find a little bit of daylight there and hit the hole hard. And there's the pitch to Upton. Comes across the left side again, and another hole there, and he goes up to the 25-yard line, but there's a flag out on the play. And there's going to be a stoppage there. And it's going to be a hold on the Longhorns. There hasn't been a lot of penalties in this game, mostly on the kickoffs. But it looks like that's going to be a spot foul. And it's going to bring up... It's going to be a 1st and 10 after the spot foul. So 1st and 10 back at the West Oso 39-yard line. Jackson takes the snap, comes to his right, looks downfield, has a man. That's Upton. And he gets taken out of bounds at the 20-yard line. As he tiptoes the sideline there. So it's going to be a 1st down and 10 for the Longhorns from the West Oso 20. Nice shot by Jackson, waiting for stuff to open up downfield as he rolled to the right. Doing a lot with his legs tonight is the young quarterback. And there's the handoff to Zuniga up ahead. Picks up about 2 before he's swallowed up by the West Oso defense. And let's go back to the replay for the pass on that last play. And there's a snap, and as you see, Jackson comes around and he throws to the sideline there. Good job by Upton, staying inbounds to make the catch. And what a nice play there by the West Oso defense.
Ball spotted at the 19-yard line, third down for the Horns.
As we look at the replay, you see Jackson had a man coming in on the inside on the slant, but broken up.
Patrick Garcia on the stop, number 46, carried by John Greenback.
So it's 4th down and 3 on the field. And the Longhorns are once again going to go for it on 4th down, needing just 3 yards. Jackson rolls out to his left, looks downfield, stops, puts the ball away, and just falls back down at the line of scrimmage. That's going to be a turnover on downs. And a big stop by West Oso as they had their back against the wall there as George West drove deep into Bears territory, and the Bears defense opens up the second half with a stop. Coach Smithy and company got to be happy about that. So West Oso going to take over 1st and 10 at its own 14-yard line. So out comes the West Oso offense led by Anthony Pena. Pena takes a snap, backs the pass, going to go long. And there's going to be a penalty on the looks like there was a lot of extracurriculars. Looks like the referee is going to call pass interference, but let's check out the replay. Let's see if we can catch what happened. Espenia went deep. And as you can see there, but they're going to call a defensive pass interference on George West, and it's going to be a 1st down for West Oso down to its own 29-yard line. So 1st down and 10 for West Oso. There's a snap to Pena. Steps back to pass. Pena finds a seam and try to run for it, but gets taken down almost immediately. Tackle made by Tucker Wallach, senior defensive end. And Pena lost about 2 on the rush, bringing up a 2nd and 12 for West Oso at its own 27-yard line. Pena back there with a couple of running backs. Thought about pitching it and finds a good little seam, does Pena, down to the 35-yard line. Picks up about 8 yards on the run. And Pena's got some quick feet. You see there, he thought about the pitch and finds a little bit of room coming up the field. able to get a few yards out of that. Brings up a 3rd and manageable, 3rd and 4 for West Oso. And there's the get to Carrington. He comes around to the right side, and he has a lot of room, and he has the sideline to run. Breaks off a tackler, gets away, goes out of bounds. And one of the best runs we've seen from West Oso tonight, all the way down to the George West 42-yard line. But a holding call on West Oso wipes out a 22-yard pickup. By Rashad Carrington. You see Carrington comes around, just has a huge hole there to the right side of the line. But there's the holding call. So it's now 3rd and 14. They give again to Carrington, and Carrington picks up about a yard. And it's going to be
Number 10, Riley Huey, and number 15, Michael Upton on the stop for the Horns. Ball was carried by.
picks up about 3 yards. Call it 4. Call it a 4th down and 10 for West Oso. So after the Bears defense comes out, picks up the stop, coming out of the locker room, cannot do anything with the ball, and here they are punting from their end of the field once again. And there's a short punt there by Pena. Goes out of bounds at the West Oso 41, where George West is going to take over. With 6:20 to go here in the third quarter, George West will set up for its second drive of the half in West Oso territory. So, man in motion for George West. There's a snap, and Jackson runs to his left, and he gets taken down. And there's a rare sack of Jackson there. The West Oso defense coming out of the locker room playing pretty sharp. Force the George West turnover and now pick up a sack on the start of this drive. And here's Upton in motion on the sweep, and he's going to take it up to about the 35, down to the 33-yard line. Stayed in bounds. Clock will continue to run. Picks up about 9 yards on the play. Going to be a 3rd and a long one for the Longhorns after a 9-yard pickup by Michael Upton. And here's Upton once again. And he dives forward all the way down to the 24-yard line, picks up another 9 yards on the run. Upton coming out, running hard.
First and 10 for the Longhorns. Ball spotted at the 25-yard line.
He just waits slowly for those blocks to develop behind that solid offensive line and just barrels forward for a couple of nice back-to-back runs. And George West has been doing that all night. Jackson with the pitch out. That's Zuniga. Zuniga comes across the 25, lowers his head, gets taken down around the 23-yard line. He picks up about 3. bringing up 2nd down and 7 at the West Oso 23-yard line. So George West on the move once again. Jackson in the backfield, split backs. Jackson fakes the give to Zuniga, and Jackson dancing his way through the line, and he's going to go and he's going to score, this time from 23 yards out. Jackson, what a game. His 3rd touchdown of the night. Devin Jackson, have yourself a game. Look at the snap. He fakes the handoff there. Dances, evades all the defenders, and nobody able to get a hand on him up until it's too late. Barrels his way into the end zone for the score. His 3rd of the night. The senior quarterback scoring on runs of 7, 9, and 23. And here's the extra point attempt by Hugh, which is good. And with 3:46 to go in the 3rd quarter, George West leading big, 35-3 over West Oso. And senior quarterback Devin Jackson running all over this Bears defense, picking up a 23-yard touchdown run on that last play. And let's take a quick break here as there's a pause in the action as we set up for the kickoff. I'm Mark Molina, and you're watching Real Sports Live.
Music lovers, you have to stop and see the assortment of records, tapes, and records memorabilia at Forever Memories today. Located at 237 North Sam Houston in San Benito, Texas, there's over 10,000 records on display and more coming every day. Looking for your favorite album from the past, first pressings, collectibles? How about a 45 with a single you just have to have? Freddie Fender, Johnny Cash, Hank Williams, Elvis, Beatles, blues, rock, classics, Tejano, it's all here. Organized and priced for you. Forever Memories, 237 North Sam Houston, San Benito.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Mark Molina, and here we are coming to you live from West Oso High School, watching the hosting Running Bears take on the George West Longhorns. Longhorns leading this one 35-3 off of 5 rushing scores. This one fielded by Ashton Humphrey as he gets up all the way to the Bears' 38-yard line. West Oso going to have the ball 1st and 10 from its own 38. 3 minutes, 42 seconds to go here in the 3rd quarter. And West Oso, led by Anthony Pena, gonna come back out here and see if they can put something together, as this game has just gotten away from them as the George West running attack has continued where it left off during the first half. But junior quarterback Anthony Pena comes out, empty backfield, 5 wide. And there's a penalty flag. And it's going to be a delay of game on West Oso. So before the snap, West Oso already backing it up 5 yards. Back to its own 33-yard line. It's going to be a 1st and 15. And Pena takes a snap and up ahead to the 35-yard line.
Quarterback keeper on the play.
Anthony Pena, so quick. You just think if he catches a seam or has a little bit of daylight, he's going to take it. But up until this point, has not had much of that. Carrington coming in motion. Pena, he's going to go deep. He has a man all alone. And that's number 5, Jalen James. James had nobody in front of him, but just lost his balance and goes out of bounds at the George West 38-yard line. .32 yards on the pass play. As you see the replay to your right. And we have a timeout on the field. But let's go back to the full screen replay. Bennett goes deep. He had a man all alone. Could have been a score there. But James just couldn't stay in bounds after making the catch. But big play there by West Oso. So 3:01 left here in the third quarter. West Oso at the George West 38-yard line after that 32-yard pass to Jalen James. Benya goes deep again, and this one's going to be picked off. And how about that one? Let's go to the replay as Benya throws it up there. And it looked like that was Weston Rhodes, the junior, coming up with that interception. So George West going to take over. 1st and 10, deep in his own territory at the 10-yard line. And there's Adesiba. He spins out of a tackle and he goes all the way up to the 18-yard line, picks up a nice gain on the play. Pickup of 8, going to bring up a 2nd and 2 here, and let's watch that one again. Adesiba into the left side of the line, spins out of a pile and slips there, but able to pick up 8 yards out of it. Bringing up a 2nd and short here for the Longhorns. And that's Adesiba once again. Goes nowhere. Pick of no gain as Jake Snyder, the sophomore, comes into the game. Passed for 2 touchdowns a year ago. And minimal play time, but with his team leading big, Snyder in at quarterback for the Longhorns. And Snyder's going to keep this, and he's going to pick up a 1st down and more, and he barrels all the way down to the 34-yard line. For a Longhorn 1st down, does the sophomore Snyder. We'll check out the replay here. As Snyder taking his time, but puts the ball away, puts his head down, goes up ahead, and takes a West Oso defender with him.
Another stop by number 44.
They give this carry to Hayden McBride.
Ball spotted at the 33-yard line. Second down
this run is to Layson Collins, another sophomore for George West. He picks up about a yard as the time ticks away, and looks like George West has called off the Dogs here late in the third quarter as they lead 35-3 as they begin to start emptying out their bench. Still a whole quarter to play, but with a 32-point lead here, looks like the sophomore Snyder and company are going to finish out this game. In the backfield is Collins, another sophomore. Snyder is going to be content just to let the clock tick away and head to the fourth quarter with George West up 35-3. And that's how the third quarter is going to end. We head to the fourth quarter. The Longhorns leading big, 35-3, off the legs of senior quarterback Devin Jackson's 3 touchdown runs. And West Oso defense has no answers for this George West running attack. And we're heading to the fourth quarter. We're going to take a break. I'm Mark Molina. This is Real Sports Live.
At HCISD, we move the needle forward every day.
We'll blaze a trail for future generations.
It's not just about equipping students with skills for the future. We awaken their potential and empower them to make good choices.
No matter where you're from or where you're headed, there's a place for you to flourish at HCISD.
And welcome back to West Oso High School as we begin the fourth quarter here in a week 1 game between the West Oso Bears and the George West Longhorns. George West 5 rushing touchdowns on the ground here tonight, running all over this West Oso defense. So the start of the fourth quarter, 39, George West. Man in motion there, and there's a flag immediately. And it looks like that's going to be a penalty on George West. So this will be a 3rd and 14 after the penalty for George West. Here's Polsak coming around on the sweep play, gets back to the original line of scrimmage, and Moore picks up 7 on the rush. It's going to be 4th and about 8 yards to go. And George West is going to be content to punt the ball away here. Back to West Oso, which has only put up a 30-yard field goal here tonight on the scoreboard by place kicker Arturo Hernandez early in the first half. So we're going to have a punt here. A nice punt here by Jackson. This one fielded so West Oso going to take over at its own 42-yard line after the punt. And out come the Bears once again, trying to put something, anything together here tonight. As Anthony Pena and company come back out on the field. Pena coming off on the last drive, an interception. And here's a give up ahead. to the running back. I believe that was Rankin. Number 3 picks up a couple of yards. Going to bring up a 2nd and 8. So Pena looks at the sideline. Going to come out in the gun with one back in the backfield. That's Rankin, 3 wide. And there's a bad snap, and Peña's chasing it in the backfield. He picks it up, he tries to run away, stays on his feet, but he's going to be taken down way back at the 30-yard line, about a loss of 15 there on the bad snap. As the man came in motion, just couldn't get a hold of that snap as it rolls all the way back to the 30, and he gets taken down trying to escape a sea of white jerseys, but not happening. So it's going to be a 3rd and 23 after the bad snap as Peña looks to the sideline. Comes out, empty backfield, 5 wide. West Oso hasn't done it much. They're going to go to the, looks like they're going to go to the air here. Peña back to pass. And he's going to be taken down once again as a flag comes in on the play. We're going to wait the penalty, but as you can see here, Peña back to pass, and he had a blue helmet right in his face almost immediately. Noah Pais, and that's going to be holding on West Oso, and as we figured, George West going to decline the penalty. And it's going to be a 4th and 23 from the West Oso 25-yard line. So actually it's going to be a 4th and 30, 7-yard loss on that sack. So Peña going to punt it away. High kick. And that's going to take a roll right at midfield. And that's where the referees are going to blow the whistle, and that's where George West is going to set up shop. We're inside of 9 minutes to go, 8:56 here from Bear Stadium here in West Oso. George West leading 35-3 off of 5 rushing touchdowns. Quarterback Devin Jackson had himself a night. Rushing touchdowns of 7, 9, and 23 yards for the senior quarterback. And there's a penalty, it looks like. It's going to be the 10-yard variety, and George West is going to be backed up to its own 40. That's where it will begin the drive. 8:56 left here in the game. Snyder gives it off to Hayden McBride. McBride loses a yard. So it's going to be a 2nd and 11 after the 1-yard loss. Snyder, quick pass, and that's number 17, Weston Rhodes on the catch. Picks up about a yard back to the original line of scrimmage. Going to bring up a 3rd and 10. So 3rd and 10 as we get to about the 8-minute mark in this game. Snyder, 2 backs in the backfield with them. Fakes the handoff, and Snyder coming around the left side, puts his head down, gets up to about the 48-yard line, picks up about 8 yards on the 3rd down play. going to be about 2 yards short of the first down. As we see, there's the fake, and just gets a lot of room, gets the edge there. Nice bit of running there by the sophomore QB. It's less than 7.5 minutes to go. It's 4th and 3. George West is going to go with it. And here's a sweep to McBride. McBride dances his way to the West Oso 48-yard line as a flag comes in. And we're going to check the call. As the referees hash it out near midfield. That was a 4th down play. And that's going to be against George West. It looks like it's going to be a spot foul. So it's going to go, ball's going to go back to the 42 of George West. We're going to replay 4th down. It's going to be a 4th down and 8 after the spot foul, and George West is just going to punt the ball away this time after the penalty. Jackson comes in, he's going to do the punting. There's a low snap and there's a penalty, and Jackson just gets it away as the ball bounces out of bounds at around the West Oso 44-yard line. .644 left in the game. And it's going to be an illegal substitution call against George West on that penalty. Hasn't been many penalties here tonight, but that one's going to go against George West. And West Oso going to get the ball with a nice bit of field position at the George West 44-yard line to begin this drive. Oh, now they're respotting the ball as the referee. So it's going to be 1st and 10 from the West Oso 45. We're inside of 7 minutes to play. The illegal substitution was declined by West Oso. The Bears going to take possession and from their own 45-yard line. 6:44 to play in the game. And Peña barrels ahead for about a yard pickup. The West Oso Bears have shown some flashes of good things. The receivers have been able to get some separation from these Longhorn defenders down the field, just have not been able to connect on some of those long balls. They did with one, but they've had a couple where those receivers have gotten steps. Peña just hasn't gotten the time or has been able to get on point on the same page with those receivers. And Peña pitches out, and he has Carrington there on a risky pitch, and Carrington has some room. He's going to go. He's going to go up to the 31-yard line before he gets dragged down at about the 30-yard line of George West. And Peña gets in trouble and just throws it back out to Carrington, and Carrington switches direction, and he finds all sorts of room there on the left side before getting dragged down at around the 31-yard line. Nice bit of running there by Carrington. So 1st and 10 West Oso from the George West 34-yard line. Benya, he's going to go deep. He underthrows this one and it's picked off by Freeman. Benya's second interception of the game. And after the long run by Carrington, Benya throws up a floater, throws it short, and Freeman's there to pick it off. So 5:21 to go, and George West takes possession at its own 15-yard line after the interception. And here's another run. This one's to Alasiba. He's had a few carries here tonight. Even though the headline has been Michael Upton and especially Devin Jackson, I mean, this George West roster full of guys who can run the ball and run it effectively. And here's the pitch to McBride. McBride dances his way past the 20 to about the 21-yard line. This George West team losing just one game a year ago, picking up where it left off. Opening its season with a big win. And here's Snyder, who makes it to about the 25, enough for a first down. Needed the 24, got the 25, and then some. And that's going to be first down. And 10 for the Longhorns at their own 25-yard line. Inside of 4 minutes to go. Man in motion. And there's a nice run there by Ashton Humphrey, and there's a penalty on the play. Humphrey got to about the 33-yard line. But it's going to be a holding call. It's going to wipe off that 8-yard run and back up the Longhorns a bit. And that'll back up the Longhorns after the holding call all the way back to their own 19-yard line. So it would have been a 2nd and 2 from their own 33. Is now a 1st and 15 from their own 19. Sophomore Snyder in the gun with two backs. The snap goes through his legs, and it's free. And West Oso falls on top of it. And that's number 45, Luis Garcia, who rolls into the end zone, but they're going to call him dead at the 9-yard line. So the sophomore Snyder, just waiting for the snap, goes between his legs. And there's number 45, Luis Garcia, falls on top of it, but gets called dead at the 9-yard line. So with 3:26 to go, West Oso is 1st and goal from the George West 9-yard line, trailing 35-3. Trying to get into the end zone at least once here tonight. And there's going to be a timeout, and it's going to be attributed to the West Oso Bears. So while West Oso wants to talk it over, we're going to take a quick break. 3:26 left to go here in the game. George West leading West Oso 35-3. I'm Mark Molina, and this is Real Sports Live. We'll be back.
Hi fans, today's game is brought to you by New York Life. Best of luck to your team.
And I'm Danielle Goslin, and I'm a partner with New York Life Insurance Company. For over 170 years, New York Life has built a reputation of developing the most successful professionals in the industry.
We help to manage the process from day one and guide you on your way to success. If you're looking to challenge yourself and build an insurance and financial service business,
then we would like to show you how we can help.
When in Port Mansfield, be sure to stop in Laguna Madre Baits, the home of Laguna Girl 1 and 2. They ensure that you have the best when it comes to your fishing needs. Locally caught bait, including live shrimp and croaker. Frozen baits, caught locally, frozen shrimp, squid, mullet, and more. Dress the part with full outdoor apparel. Drinks, ice, snacks, groceries, and fishing supplies for any need. Access by road or by boat. Look for the blue building and the blue shrimp boats. Laguna Madre Baits, 828 Westport Drive, Port Mansfield, Texas.
And we're back. 3:19 to go. There was a 5-yard run by West Oso on the first down play. 2nd and 5. And there's a pile inside the 5-yard line. That was Rankin on the rush.
Third down for West Oso, the ball outside at the 2-yard line.
And there's another bad snap by West Oso, and Benya gonna fall on top of it all the way back to the 17, it looks like. A loss of 15 yards and a big blow there to West Oso on this drive. So inside of 2 minutes to play here. There's Spania scrambling, gets rid of it into the hands of Rankin, and Rankin has nowhere to go, and it's going to be a turnover on downs. And George West is going to take over. At their own 25-yard line after the turnover on downs by West Oso. And once again, the Bears squander another opportunity inside the George West 20. And here's a handoff to number 19, McBride, who's hit hard. Nice tackle here. Let's go to the replay. To give to McBride. Looks like he has some room, and he's met really quickly by Ernest Rodella. And here's a good piece of running by the sophomore Snyder, and Snyder's gonna go, gets tripped up, almost got away. He gets tripped up at around the 15-yard line. Gain of about 54 yards on the run for the sophomore. Snyder just found a seam on that right side of the line and just takes it. Just couldn't escape that shoelace tackle there by number 28, Jared Medina, with a touchdown saving tackle. So George West going to come out and attempt a 33-yard field goal. And it's good. Going to make the score 38-3. Just trying to get some work in for the place kicker, I guess. So 37 seconds to play. It's a 38-3 George West lead. And we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come back with the conclusion of this game. This is Real Sports Live. I'm Mark Molina, and we'll be back.
Forever Memories, Antiques and Collectibles, located at 237 North Sam Houston in San Benito, is filled with vintage items, collectibles, and a selection of vinyl records that's as good as it gets. Every shelf, every aisle, and table is filled daily by a number of vendors that ensures that something here just might be the item you have to have. The vinyl record area helps bring an added atmosphere that makes for the fun trip when stepping back in time with the memories. Forever Memories, Antiques and Collectibles in San Benito.
And we're back here live from West Oso. George West leading 38-3. Going to kick off here after Riley Hugh puts a 33-yard field goal through the uprights. And that one fielded by Rayshawn Nichols. And West Oso is going to start this drive at the 34, at its own 34-yard line with 32 seconds left to play. So with 32 seconds to go, George West is going to go to 1-0 here early on in the 2020 football season. And West Oso is going to fall to 0-1 in Brad Smithy's debut here. And West Oso just going to go into a kneel and kill the clock and let it run. And that's how this game is going to end. George West 38, West Oso 3. George West running game just came in here and did not play around. Consistent, tough running by the Longhorns was a recipe for victory today. Led by quarterback Devin Jackson and running back Michael Upton, the senior duo combined for 5 touchdowns on the ground to lead the way for the Longhorns.
We still would like to thank you for attending tonight's cocktail for which you a safe trip home. Remember that sportsmanship is always important to be practiced.
So that's going to do it here from West Oso. Let's talk a little bit about what we saw here during this week 1 matchup. George West comes in with the running game. Devin Jackson scored from 7, 9, and 23 yards out. He put on a heck of a performance, did the senior quarterback, followed by Michael Upton with a couple of touchdowns of his own of him 7 and 11 yards. And you can't say enough about this George West defense, coming up with a couple of turnovers, forcing multiple turnovers on downs. Really, really solid effort by head coach Brent Cornegie and company. George West goes to 1-0. West Oso falls to 0-1, ladies and gentlemen. And that is really going to do it here from West Oso High School. I hope you've enjoyed the broadcast, ladies and gentlemen. There was a plethora of sports being played here in the Coastal Bend. We had 6 games. We had a volleyball game. Just really, really good Friday night. Week 1 in the books. And it's going to be one to remember as we all anxiously awaited for sports to come back. There was a lot in the air a couple of months ago, but we now know football is back and as good as ever. George West wins this one 38-3. Catch us wherever you guys do social media. That's Real Sports Live on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, anywhere you do social media. Catch Real Sports Live. YouTube Live, you can find our YouTube channel. We're on the Roku Network, Apple TV. Those will be back up and running this next week. So check us out here for all the Friday night action that's going to be in our archives. You can find that on Facebook and Twitter or YouTube, anywhere. We also have a running live channel with the re-airs, and you can catch our sideline sit-downs where me and the guys sit down and talk to athletes, former coaches, former athletes, student athletes, college athletes, all from the Coastal Bend, the Rio Grande Valley. Very interesting interviews there. So also catch those sideline sit-downs. We usually do them Monday and Wednesday at 1, 3, and 5 p.m. But give us a follow, Real Sports Live. Catch up on all the action. There's going to be highlights for everything that happened here Friday nights from all the football games and the volleyball game. So thank you for watching us here. We hope you enjoyed it. Have a good night. Stay safe out there, ladies and gentlemen. For me, Mark Molina, this has been Real Sports Live. Have a good night.